Good morning everybody, and welcome back to my channel for those of you that are returning, and a big welcome to my new subscribers as well. My name's Elaine and I am EmmaXstitching both here and on Instagram, and this is a channel that is predominantly about cross stitch, but I do talk about other crafts as well, mainly knitting. Not that I've got any knitting to show you this time. I have done a bit of knitting, but not very much. This is take 2, by the way, and it's not, this is the first time I've ever had to do a second take on a video, because I was busy chatting away to you in the first one, and then I realised that I'd forgotten something that I really wanted to show you, and instead of hitting the pause button I hit the stop button and completely stopped the whole thing, and then I didn't know how to like kind of restart it again, so I thought I'll just start again, Elaine. So I've got to try and remember what I was chatting on about now from the first take. So here we go. So I've got a little bit of a life update to talk about. I've got my WIPS to show you. I haven't got as many as normal because when I filmed my last video 3 weeks ago, almost straight afterwards, the very next day, I wasn't feeling very well, and in fact I had a couple of rough days with tonsillitis, which is not something that I've suffered from in quite a long time. So I felt a bit under the weather, and I didn't actually do any stitching for a couple of days, which is kind of made a bit of a dent in, has not made a dent rather, in my WIP progress this time. WIPS, by the way, stands for works in progress, for anyone who doesn't know. So anyway, I got back on to stitching after that, and I'll show you what I've been working on in a minute. So I did get to 600 subscribers, and then it's dropped down to 599, so somebody clearly decided they didn't like my channel after all. It has gone up and down a little bit. I don't know if other people have found that with theirs. I'm sure you have. So you know, it slowly has crept up from my last video, so not that I'm particularly bothered. I think 599 subscribers is pretty good actually. If you put all those people together, then that's loads, isn't it? Well, I think it is anyway. So I know lots of people give shout outs to the under 1,000 subscribers club. I'm not quite sure why 1,000 subscribers is kind of the magic number actually. Does something special happen when you get to 1,000 subscribers? I don't know. I can't imagine getting there, so it doesn't really matter anyway. So anyway, I just wanted to say as well that this community is just amazing, isn't it? Both on Flosstube and on Instagram. So I really feel like I've started to make some really good stitchy friends actually, and just everybody's just so nice and really lovely. I'm really glad now. I was so nervous when I started doing Flosstube, and I'm not normally a nervous person because of the job that I do. For anybody who hasn't watched my previous Flosstubes, I'm a HR manager in the real world. You know, I quite often have to stand up and talk in front of people, and you always do get a bit nervous because I think, you know, you wouldn't be human if you didn't, but I'm used to doing that kind of thing. But I don't know what I'm waffling on about now. Oh yeah, but yeah, I'm a little bit shy to start with when it comes to kind of meeting people, and but you know, this community is really just brilliant, I think. So a couple of examples of that, I suppose. Last Saturday morning I participated in one of Darren the Dizzystitcher's Zoom meetings, and I'm so glad that I went on it. And I just want to thank Darren for organising them, because they're just brilliant, and I definitely can't wait for the next one now. So I couldn't go on the first couple that he organised because I was away on holiday, but and he usually has them on a Sunday morning, and they're a little bit more difficult for me to get on. But last Saturday's was great, and I met such a really good bunch of people. Some of them are subscribers of mine, and it was just really lovely to get to talk to them, you know, for real. And I met a couple of new people as well that I subscribe to. So I do want to give a few shout outs to some Flosstubers today anyway, but one of them I definitely want to give a shout out to is Desiree, the Addicted Stitcher, who I did meet on Darren's Zoom last week. So hi Desiree, if you're watching this, it was so nice to meet you, and I really look forward to seeing you again on another Zoom meeting. And of course I went straight over and subscribed to her channel, and she's got some great WIPS. So if you haven't been to Desiree's channel, the Addicted Stitcher, go and give it a look, because yeah, she's really good. So I did kind of the Zoom meeting, and in the meantime as well, I messaged Teresa, Little Stitcher. So Teresa, I have watched for ever since I started stitching. There, can't get my words out today. You know, she's the inspiration behind me picking up full coverage, actually. So thank you, Teresa, for that. Anyway, I thought it would be really nice to organise a stitching retreat, because I'm an HR manager for a hotel, and here in Essex, and when I look at where a lot of the stitching retreats are, they're kind of miles away from me, and I really, not that it matters, I don't mind travelling to things, but I thought, wouldn't it be good if I could organise one at my own hotel? So I reached out to Teresa about it, and we've decided we are going to organise one. I did mention it on Darren's Zoom meeting last week, and a couple of people were interested. So I haven't got any more detail for you at the minute. Teresa and I had a phone conversation on Wednesday just gone, and it's the first time I've chatted to her, and we were on the phone for about an hour and a half, and I was at work at the time. My boss kept ringing me up asking me for things. Otherwise, in the end, we had to finish the conversation, and but I could quite happily have chatted to her all day long. She's so lovely to talk to. So Teresa and I are trying to put that together at the moment. We are trying to sort out a date. We did have a date in mind, but the room that we want to use at my hotel is already booked for one of the days, so that's no good. So at the minute we're either looking at a date in March or a date in October next year, and we're trying to work it so that we don't clash with anybody else's stitchy retreat in the UK. So this retreat, I can tell you for definite, it will be in Essex, and it will be at Stansted, which is, you know, quite central for, and even if you wanted to fly in, if flights are running again by then, and it will be Friday through to Sunday. Apart from that, I can't tell you for definite what the dates will be yet. I will let you know on my next video, hopefully, and I'm sure as soon as we've finalised it, Teresa will let her subscribers know on her channel, and I'm quite sure that a lot of my subscribers are her subscribers too. So yeah, so she may have the detail for you before I next do. But that's something that we're working on organising at the minute, and we think it will be for about 30 people, and we will set a date whereby you can, you know, the date that you can contact us to book a place, and I'll let you know prices, and so will Teresa, as we finalise some details, which hopefully will be in the next week. Okay, so, but at the minute I haven't got any more information than that. I did say on Zoom that I probably would have, but I haven't. Anyway, watch this space with that one. My goodness, we're 10 minutes in and I haven't shown you any WIPS or stitching or anything yet. So we'll get onto that in just a minute. So the other bit around life updates. So those of you that follow me on Instagram, I have been putting up a few pictures of my view from work, because as well as working at Stansted, I was looking after a hotel in London as well, and I've just stopped doing that. So it's a bit of a trek for me to drive to London. It's like nearly 2 hours drive there and then back again, and it's been a brilliant experience working there, but I just couldn't sustain it. It's just too far for me to go, so I have I've stopped doing that hotel now, and I'm just doing the one that's more local to me, so, which is great. So the other thing, the other good news with that is that I've worked full-time all of my working life. I took a few months maternity leave when I had my son many moons ago, and then went straight back to work full-time. And I have just dropped to doing 3 days a week, and this was my first week of doing that, and it's lovely. I love it. So I'm hoping that in future on my Flosstube I'll have a bit more stitching to show you, because I hopefully will have a bit more time to do some stitching. So hence why I also feel that that justifies that I can start a few new starts as well. So okay, so I think I've waffled on long enough. I'm going to show you my WIPS, and then I have got some haul, which is, this is the point where I had to stop the video last time because I was chatting on and I realised that I'd forgotten one piece of haul that I really wanted to show you. And then I've got the result of my giveaway from the last video, which was for the strawberry harvest chart from Cottage Garden Samplings. And on that note, the giveaway that I did for 500 subscribers, I gave away 4 things. 3 of them I posted off to the recipients, and they've all received them, and thank you very much guys for letting me know that you got them okay. And I was really impressed actually with how quickly the post was this time too, because all 3 of those things went across the pond and they all got there relatively quickly, so it looks like the post is starting to get a lot better than it was. The 4th thing that I gave away, which I thought was the easiest thing to give away, which was I said that I would happily pay for somebody to have a regular chart from Heaven and Earth Designs if they wanted to go and pick a PDF. And the lady that won it has not come back to me in the last 3 weeks. So I did comment on her comment. Obviously I brought it up on my last video and she hasn't responded. So I have decided I will use that Hare PDF as a giveaway this time. So we'll do that at the end of my video. Okay, so let's get into some stitching, shall we? So the first WIP that I always show you is this one, and hopefully you'll see a picture now of the finished article and where you saw it last time. So this is Unicorns, Valley of Waterfalls, and it's a Heaven and Earth design, and it is artwork by Patrick Krasny. So here it is now. So I've done about just over 1,000 stitches in the last 3 weeks, which isn't a great amount. I must confess that I haven't worked massively on any of my full coverage projects over the last 3 weeks. Like I say, I took a couple of days out because I wasn't very well in the first place, but I wanted to catch up with some of my other WIPS as well. But what I have done on this one, so I've nearly finished, I've nearly got a page finish here now, and this will be page 3, I think. I don't really follow the pages, to be honest, because I use Pattern Keeper and I have the pages turned off, because I find when you get to the end of a page and it like melts into the next page, I'd rather have them turned off and just stitch. So that's what I do. So I've nearly finished this mountain, and then I think there's another big mountain that comes in over here as well. But I might have a little bit of a change of scene from the mountains, to be honest, and I might start stitching in some of these parked threads, because I don't really use parking that much anymore. So this one is stitched on 25 count easy guide, and it's 1/1 full cross. So that's where I am with that, and it's easy stitching this one at the moment. It's not particularly confetti heavy at the minute. This mountain did introduce a few new colours, so that was quite good as well. And I have done 22,000, just over 22,000 stitches on this one now, which is 6.7%, I think. So yeah, so that's where Unicorns is at. So I know if I start stitching these part threads in that we're gonna go back into confetti down here, because these trees are quite confetti heavy, but I might as well carry on stitching a bit of tree, I think, as a change from the mountains. So that's that one. So try and keep things neat and tidy as I go. Okay, so the next one that I worked on is the next one that you always see anyway, and that's my mini Hare. So I'll put a picture in of where it was last time, and the finished picture of what it looks like. So this is mini, so many books, so little time. And here it is. So I have not done very much on this at all. So all I've done is I've done some more of this blue sky behind my little dragline, and then I have started on the stonework of this archway. So I mean, I think this side's almost an exact replica of this side. I've done this here is quite confetti heavy, and then like I said, I'm doing this bit, but I've literally done probably 300 stitches in this in the last 3 weeks. I've only picked it up once. I don't know why, but I just wasn't in the mood for this one. I really wanted to crack on a bit more with Unicorns, which I did. This one I'm over 10% complete. I do need to crack on with it a bit, because this is my challenge that I'm doing for full coverage fanatics, to do 21,000 stitches in 21, and at the moment I've only done about 11,000, so I've got 10,000 to go, which is doable, but I do need to pick this one up a bit more. So yeah. So this one is stitched on 25 count easy guide as well, and it's 1/1 full cross. So yeah, That's so many books, so little time. Okay, so the next one I worked on, sorry, I'm just going to have to sort these out 1 second. And do you know what? I've actually written a few notes today as well, and I don't normally do that. Normally, I just film. I add in photos and things that, you know, that I want to add in, and that's it. I don't cut anything out. I don't do any of that. I just go for it. And what you see is what you get, basically. So, next one I'm going to show you is not in the order I normally show you, but never mind, doesn't matter. So the next one I'm going to show you is Feast. This is charted by Pain-Free Crafts and the artwork's by Chris Dunn. And hopefully you can see a picture of where it was last time and what it looks like when it's finished. And I haven't done masses on this one either, so this is where it's at now. I've done a bit more and it's taken ages, this bit actually. So this here is the top of a plate. That there's a hare who's down here, and he's like holding this plate up like this and carrying it. And all of this plate is just confetti hell, basically. You know, there's so many single stitches in it. I have put a couple of 100 stitches or so in it, and this was my project to work on the weekend that I got ill. So in the end, I'd just done some stitches on it on the Saturday night, and then I didn't do any more to it. And I think I may have picked it up one day since, but it hasn't had a lot of time. I need to, that might be my Saturday evening project tonight actually. So yeah, so that's Feast. So sorry, I forgot to say this one is stitched on 28 count easy guide, and I'm stitching it 1/1 full cross. So that's that one. And then my final full coverage. So again, this is by Pain-Free Crafts, and it's called Cheese Delivery. Again, the artwork's by Chris Dunn. I think you all know that this is my favourite full coverage stitch. I have stitched quite a bit more on this, although you probably don't notice that much. So I've pretty much done some more on the light here. I've been coming across here, and I know that I'm almost at the end of the page now. So yeah, I've been filling in some more of this wood here, which is part of the window frame. Like I say, I've done this light. Overall, I think I've put about another 1,000 stitches in this. And this one is on 28 count easy guide, and it is, I'm stitching this one 2/1 10 stitch, which I really like. And I have got a plan for just one more full coverage start, which is going to be my New Year start, unless something drastic happens. Definitely I will start it on the 1st of January, and I definitely am going to stitch it in 10 stitch, because now I've got the hang of 10 stitch. It does go quite a lot faster, I think, than full cross. And actually, from a distance, when you're stitching on 28 count, it really doesn't notice as to whether you're using half cross or full cross. The only difference I do notice with this one compared to Feast, which is 1/1 full cross, is the back of this one's like a rug. Seriously, I'm not showing you the back because it is an absolute mess, and I know a lot of people's heids are a mess on the back, or full coverage projects are a mess on the back, but yeah, this one you could it's definitely a real rug on the back. So yeah, so that's all my full coverage projects. So the next one I'm going to show you is my long dog sampler. So I'll put pictures in of where it was last time, etc., and what it looks like when it's finished. Although the picture of what this looks like when it's finished, it just doesn't do this piece justice really. So I have done quite a bit on this. So here's where we are now. So as you can see, I've finished this spoon here, and I've done a couple of the little keys either side of it, and I did go back and do this W. Last time I said to you I'd almost finished the alphabet, I'd got as far as U and I had one letter to do, which was the W, and I hadn't done it for some weird reason, so I went back and did the W and then realised actually there's a Y as well. But the Y has got some bits attached to it, so I'll come back and do that. I did intend to do it, but this spoon here, and I have completed, hopefully you can see all the back stitch on it as well. This spoon here, it took longer than I expected it to do, and I have had to do a little bit of fudging with this one. Not masses, it doesn't notice a lot, but there is a mistake in here. I have gone wrong one row on this side, I think, but you'd never know, so I'm okay with it, to be honest. So only I know it's there, so it doesn't really, well, you will know now, but you wouldn't know where it is, would you? So this one I am stitching on 28 count even weave in the colourway Knox, which is from Chromatic Alchemy, and I'm using silks for this, so they're all Dinky Dyes bar one. So this is Robin's Egg, and then I'm using Quicksilver and then Ghost Gum, and this silk here, this variegated silk, is called Peacock Fuchsia, and it's from XG Designs. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this, and I just cannot get, I think I'm going to have to put a couple of pictures on Instagram and see if that shows this up better, because I just can't get it to look as good as it is on the camera. So, and I love stitching this, so I've got some real big spoons coming in next. Well, I can't decide what to do actually. I can come across this way, and then there's another huge spoon which I think is even bigger than this one that comes in over here, or whether to come under here, and there is like the picture of the dog comes in down here, so you know, the typical dog that she puts on all of her samplers, I think. So yeah, that's that one, and I really like that stitch a lot. Okay, so now I have a bit of a surprise for you. So you may, I don't think you've seen this one now since video 2 that I made. So I don't know if I've got a picture of where this was last time you saw it. If I have, I'll put it in. If I haven't, I apologise. I may have deleted it. So this is my Mirabilia, and if you remember, this went into a bit of timeout, and it went into one of my Halloween bags because it was misbehaving and being a complete horror. So I'd gone quite wrong on it. Well, I say quite wrong. I'd done one stitch wrong. I was stitching the skin 1 over 1, and I was stitching away, and I got to one bit, realised I'd mucked it up, and the bit where I'd mucked it up was, it wasn't that I could fudge it. Well, I could have fudged it, but it would have made it really awkward. So I decided to frog it out and start again. Well, you know, trying to frog, I'm sure a lot of you know, trying to frog 28 count 1/1, it's just hard work, you know, without damaging the fabric and it's taken me, well, to start with, I didn't even want to look at her actually for a while because I was so fed up. I had mucked her up. So she stayed away for quite a long time, and then I did start to pull her out to frog her, and I thought, well, I can't, you know, I can't leave her in the bag of horrors forever. So she came back out and I started frogging her, and this week she went back on my stand and had a bit of work done. So this is my Mirabilia. This is Lady of Mystery. Like I say, you have not seen her since video 2, I think. And this is where she is now. So, oh, that's a bit blowy outy, isn't it? Oh, that's slightly better. So I haven't done any more down this bottom bit, except I've taken like the border of this dress down a little bit further. But all the skin that I had done, I ripped out all this up here, which originally I'd done 1/1. I ripped it all out, and I'm now doing it 2/2, and it's so much easier. So much easier. This odd bit over here, I was stitching this yesterday evening, and I was starting to go a bit cross-eyed looking at the stitch in the skin. So I started this, which is actually, it doesn't look anything like it, but it's part of her hair. So yeah, so she is back out and back in my rotation. Not that I have any semblance of a rotation, but she's out and she's in it. So she is stitched on a 28 count even weave. It's a Zweigart one in the colourway cream, and she's 2/2, and I'm using all the called for colours. So that's it. Welcome back to my Mirabilia. Okay, so what else have I worked on? So I did a little bit more on this one for Blackbird Weekend, which is hosted by Brenda in the Serial Starter. So this one this Blackbird I'm working on is Strawberry Fields Forever, and I do like this design a lot. I literally only work on this one for Brenda and Laura's stitch along though, so it doesn't get much of an outing. So, but I have finished the house completely on this one now. So I had to stitch the rest of the windows and the door. So I've done that, and I've done this little motif over here. So yeah, so that's where this one's at. So I'm using all the called for colours on this one bar one. So they're all Gentle Art threads. Oh sorry, there's a couple of Weeks Dye Works in there as well. But the one I couldn't get was Garden Gate. So I've subbed it out for a Mrs. Sadas silk. So yeah, so that's where that one's at, and I'm stitching this one on 30 count Confederate grey from Weeks Dye Works, which I'm not a big lover of the linen, if I'm really honest. I'm not, but we persevere with it. Okay, so then the next one I stitched on is another SAL that's been hosted by Amanda Albastitcher and Kim the Contented Stitcher. So this one is by The Blue Flower, and it is Tudor Bee. And again, I'll put pictures in of where you saw it last time. I haven't done masses to this one. All I've done to it is I've put in the other little motif down here, and I have finished this border around the bee. So this whole inner bit's done and the border's done, and I'm now going to start down here. I think there's some vines or something to do next. So again, I'm using all the called for colours for this one. They're DMC, and I am stitching this on 32 count baby sheep by XG Designs. So that's that one. Okay. So the next one I worked on is this one. So this is another SAL that I've been doing. I quite like doing stitch alongs, but I'm a bit slow, I think. And I have got one to tell you about today as well. So this is the needleworkerhomesal that I was doing with Albastitcher on Instagram. So this is Home of a Needleworker by Little House Needleworks, and that's what it looks like when it's finished. And hopefully you'll see a picture of where it was last time. And this is where I'm at with it now. So that big house has been a real slog, as I've said before, but I'm kind of nearing the finishing post with it. So I've finished all the blue that's of the bricks or the wood or whatever it is. I've just got the windows to fill in and to finish the roof off, and then I've started coming over here a little bit now. I've got the spool of thread and the scissors to do, and then there's a bit of border work, etc. But it's not a million miles off now. Ali's finished hers. I think she's the only one to have finished hers so far. But yeah, that's where this is at the moment. So I'm stitching this one on 32 count Cafe au lait, which is a fabric flare fabric. So it's a printed fabric. So you've got this lovely front and then the back's just plain. So yeah, I feel a finish eventually coming on with that one, Ali. Okay. Then the next one I worked on, this one probably has had the most work on it. So this is Summer by the Cricket Collection. Like this chart, but it's so big. Seriously. Ooh. Sorry for that. So this is where it is now. So I have completely finished this M, and I've completed all the little carrots. As you can see, the M's got all these grapes around it, which wasn't there last time. So yeah, so that one's done. I'm going to come over and do the next M next, I think. I like stitching on this, but it seems to go very slow because those letters are so big. So this one I am stitching on 28 count linen. This is an opalescent fabric. I don't know if you can really see the glitter on it there. It's called Rain Stops Play, and it's by Chromatic Alchemy, and I'm stitching this using the called for DMC, and it's stitched 2/2. Okay. Oh, I forgot to say with the last one, the Little House Needleworks one, I'm using all the called for colours on that as well, which are classic Colourworks. The next one I worked on, I stitched on this one while I was on Dizzystitcher's Zoom meeting last week. So this is my Mill Hill Buttons and Beads kit, and it is called Olive Oil. There it is. And this is what it looks like after my stitchy efforts last Saturday morning. So all I've done is come along, and I've come along here and nearly finished the word olive actually. So yeah, it's coming along quite nicely now, this one. I'm going to come over this side now and start working up this way. But this is the ideal project, you know, when you're on a Zoom call, because obviously I'm busy chatting and listening to what other people have got to say, and they're showing what they're stitching on as well. And this was just a really simple project to sit and stitch while I was chatting. So I might save this one as my Zoom meeting project. So yeah, because hopefully I'd like to go on the next Zoom chat that Darren does, because I thoroughly enjoyed that one. The people I met were just brilliant, so it was really good to kind of meet some people that I know subscribe to my channel, and other Flosstubers as well. I can't remember if it was in my last take or whether I mentioned it earlier, but if you haven't checked out Desiree, the Addicted Stitcher, go check her out, because I met her through Darren's Zoom, and her projects are lovely. So and it was a pleasure to meet her and chat to her, as it was to everybody else actually that was part of that group. It was really good. So can't wait for the next one, guys, and hope to be able to chat to you all again soon. Really good. Okay, and then the final project that I worked on, and this was a new start. So this is a stitch along that I'm doing with Crafting Kirsty, who is also on Flosstube and Instagram, and we are doing fancyharvestsal is what it's called, and the chart that we're doing is this one. This is by Pineberry Lane, and it's Fancy Blacket Harvest Dance, and I really like this chart, and I have spent a couple of happy evenings stitching this so far. Yeah, really enjoying it. So as I say, this was a new start, and this is where I am currently at with it. So I started this big tree here, which I think is going to be the biggest mission to do, because it's like massive. I couldn't resist putting in the witch and one of the little squirrels doing their little dance, and I finished the word blacket. I think Kirsty was swapping out the fancy blacket wording and putting something different in, is what she said. So I am stitching this one on 32 count linen. This one's called Brown Paper, and it is by Xstitch Designs, and I'm using all the called for colours, but this is not 32 count, this is 36 count. This is the first time I've stitched on 36 count, and I do like it. I do have to put my mag eyes on for this one though, because the holes are quite tiny, but I'm stitching this one 1/2. So yeah, really pleased with how that one's coming along, and can't wait to stitch on it again. So talking of stitch alongs, I just couldn't resist doing one more. So I really wanted to stitch something Halloween. So I have got a couple of projects in mind. I've got quite a lot of Halloween patterns, and I really want to crack on and do them. But if any of you watched my PDF chart Flosstube extra that I did, one of the charts that I showed on there was this one. Hopefully I've put a picture in of it. So sorry, I'm just looking at my notes because I just need to check what it's called. So this chart is called Salem Trials, The Witch Hunt, and when I showed it, Ali said that she'd got the same chart, and I thought, fabulous. Another stitch along with Ali, brilliant. So mind you, she's far faster than I am at stitching, but still, it doesn't matter, does it? As long as we enjoy it. So so we are going to start this as a stitch along on the 1st of September, if anybody would like to join us. So I have a real big thing about Salem, and I'm really fascinated by the witch trials, etc. So I'm really looking forward to stitching this. So if anybody else has this chart or anything to do with Salem, please feel free to join us. I'll put like the stitch along up. We're going to call it salemstitchsal, and like I say, we'll be over on Instagram doing that, and hopefully I'll put the hashtag in for it here. So yeah, please feel free to join us 1st of September for that one. This chart, by the way, is from the Little Stitcher over on Etsy, and I'll link her below as well. Okay, so that is all my WIPS for you. I don't think I've forgotten anything this time. There's a couple that I haven't bought out this time because I haven't stitched on them. And in all honesty, I've always said I'm not really a seasonal stitcher, and I haven't been up to this point, but I have got a couple of charts that, or a couple of WIPs that might go away now for a little bit, because so one of the WIPs that I've got is Spring ABCs, and I like stitching on it, but I'm not really feeling it for stitching bunnies and spring at the moment. So that might go away for a little while until it gets near next spring and then come out again, and I might stitch something a bit more autumnal or a bit more Halloweeny instead. Although summer's not going away at the minute, I'm going to keep that one out. Maybe in the wild hope that we might still have a little bit of summer left before I put that one away. Okay, so on to haul next then. So I have gone a bit mad buying charts, if I'm honest. So I bought a couple of PDFs, and I'll stick pictures in of those. So the first one I bought is the first one I bought is Broom from the Primitive Hare, which hopefully I'll put a picture in. Now this one looks a fairly straightforward stitch actually, and I have got the colours for this, and I might start it because I think I could get a finish on it fairly quickly, but I say that all the time and I'm still not finishing anything. And the other chart that I bought was also from the Primitive Hare, and it's called the Stitcherhood, and I really liked it, so I bought that one as well. Right, they're the only two PDFs I bought, the rest are all physical charts. So let me show you what I got. So I bought this one, which is by Cottage Garden Samplings, and it's called Sweet Summertime, and it is part of the series that I've already got some of their charts for, which is their Time for All Seasons one, which is where Strawberry Harvest came from. So there's that one. Then the next one that I got, and these came from a variety of shops, and I can't remember precisely which shop had which, so I can tell you that some of them are from Patchwork Rabbit, some are from Peakside Needlecrafts, and a couple are from 123 Stitch. So the next one that I got, I think this was from Peakside actually, this one. So this is a Plum Street Samplers, and it's called Fox View, and it's another one of their animal stack charts. I really like these. It's a bit of a toss up whether I start this one first actually, or whether I do the hedgerow one that I showed you last time first, because I really like them. So that's that one. Another one that I got from Plum Street Samplers, and this one's been around a little while. This is Snort Stack, which is the one with the little pigs on top of each other. I think I'd quite like to get all of the series. I know there's a chicken one, there's a sheep one, I've already got cow pile, there's a goat one. So yeah, I'm gonna have to think about getting all of those, I suppose. The next one that I got off of eBay. I saw it and I really liked it. So this one's by Brenda, and it's called Harrietta and Co. And although it's more of a spring chart, I think, I just really like it. I like a lot of Brenda charts anyway, so I thought, oh, I'm going to have that. So that's that one. The next one I got from, I do know I got this one from Patchwork Rabbit actually, so because this is one I'd been waiting to come back in stock. So I said earlier I've got spring ABCs, which I'm already stitching. I've also got winter and autumn, but the one I was missing is summer. And I have now got, I never can get these to show very well on here. So this is summer ABCs, also from Little House Needleworks. So I've got the whole set now. The next one I got was also from Patchwork Rabbit, because I'd been waiting for this one to come in. So this is by Scattered Seed Samplers, and it's called Sheltered from the Storm. And I just really liked it. I think it's really cute. So yeah, I like that a lot. And that doesn't look too difficult to stitch either. Okay. Now this one, I almost certainly want to start actually. So this is a bit of a wintry Christmas pattern. I got this one from 123 Stitch. It's from Sweet Wing Studio, and it's called Sweater Weather. And I really liked it. And I can see this being started soon, because I've already dug out the fabric for it. So yeah, and I am going to stitch it on. It asks for blue ice Swigart linen, and I've got some of that conveniently. So yes, I can see me stitching that one soon. And the other one I was really delighted with. So again, this is one from Brenda, and I got this one from 123 Stitch, and it's Mice in the Sewing Room. Isn't that cute? Honestly, I was so pleased this time with pretty much all of these charts. I really was. Then the next one that I got was also from 123 Stitch, and it's a Prairie Schooler, and it's this year's 2021 Santa. And again, I really liked it for Santa with all his animals around him. I thought it was lovely. And finally, again, I got this one from 123 Stitch, and I apologise for the glare, but I don't really want to take this one out of the wrapper yet. So I know a few people have showed this one recently. So this is the Prairie Schooler, and it's Prairie Fairies. Sorry if it's a bit glary on my ring light there, but I think they're lovely. They're really cute. And I think I first saw this, I think the Lancashire Stitcher Lynn was showing this, and I thought, well, yeah, I've got to get that. So yeah, so that's the charts that I've got. So quite a few. So of course I've got some fabric. So sorry if I'm leaning over, but I've got them all on a separate thing. So the first piece of fabric I got, I am in Lakeside Needlecrafts Fabric Club. I don't always get every one they bring out, but I did get this one because I thought it was quite an unusual colour. So this is a 28 count even weave, sorry, and it's called Haze, and it's a fabric flare printed fabric. So I quite liked that, so I got it. I also got, when I ordered those PDFs from the Primitive Hare, I also bought some fabric from her as well. So because her patterns called for this particular fabric, and it's Old Salem linen. It smells lovely, this does too. And I just wanted to use the called for fabric with the patterns that I'd bought from her. So it's a 30 count linen, like I say, it's called Old Salem, and it is really nice and it smells really nice as well. So I was quite pleased with that. And then I bought, this is a piece of fabric from Polstitches. It's called Saxon. It's a 32 count linen, and I thought it was quite a nice neutral. It's quite a dark neutral, but I do like it. I also bought, sorry for disappearing, a couple of pieces of fabric from Peakside. So I got, this time I bought a couple of Fox and Rabbit fabrics, which I haven't used before. So these are both 32 count. This one's called Hulk Bristle, which is this one. And then this one, also by Fox and Rabbit, is called Up in the Attic. Again, it's a 32 count. Again, that's quite a nice neutrally one. And I bought a couple of pieces of Zweigart fabric from the Wool Warehouse. So I got some 32 count vintage country mocha, which I am going to stitch the Salem Witch Trial SAL on that one, just for your info, Ali. And I got some gold glittery Zweigart as well. I thought that would be quite nice for some Christmassy stitches. I have got the silver version of this as well as the gold, actually. So that's all my fabric. And then finally I bought some floss. So oh, excuse me. So this is the first time I've ordered anything from Australia, and I bought some silk from Silks for You. So I have got a project in mind for it, and when I saw it I had to have it. So this is a great hank of silk. It's really nice. I was looking for this particular colour grey. I have got silks from Mrs. Saydas, but I've never bought from Silks for You before. Really pleased with it. It is for a project, so this silk is for my next long dog sampler, which will be the pointed fifth that I start, and I think I've got the fabric for it too, so it might get started sooner rather than later. And I also bought, just to see what it was like really, another Silks for You silk. I don't know what it's called because they just number theirs. It's PR126, but it's a little skein of a red silk. I thought might come in useful for something, so just because I didn't want this big hank to travel alone, obviously. And I have to say, considering it came from Australia, it took about 2 weeks to get to me. Not long at all. So yeah, really pleased with that. Okay, so that's everything I've got to show you. You know, plan wise, I've kind of given you a bit of an idea of definitely going to start sailing witches with Ali. Probably going to start a Halloween project. Probably going to start that long dog as well, now that I've got the silk for it. So I did just quickly want to shout out a couple of Flosstubers as well. So I know I've mentioned quite a few as I've gone along, and I will put them all in the show notes below. But I did just want to say a big thank you to EmmaXstitching, because she gave me a shout out on her last video. And I'd been kind of stuck at sort of 540 subscribers for ages, and she gave me a little boost. So thank you very much, Emma. I really appreciate it. And thank you for enabling me, because probably on my next video you're going to see the haul that I've got coming from Our Forest Embroidery. And that's all thanks to you, Emma. So thanks for that. So Flosstubers I quickly wanted to shout out. A couple of them are in the under 1,000 subs club with me, but I don't think they'll stay there for very long. And then some of them have got quite a lot of subscribers, and you probably know who they are, but I just really like their stuff, so I wanted to shout them out as well. So the first one is Mad Morti. So her channel's great. So her and her husband do a bit of a double act, and they're just hilarious, really funny to watch. So go check her out, she's really good, and so's her husband. She's based in Cornwall in the UK. And then there's Craftystitchers. They've had lots of shout outs from loads of people recently, and they've only done a few videos. They're doing really well, but again, they're really good to watch. They've got some really good projects, and they really kind of bounce off each other quite well as well. So again, they're based in the UK. They're based over in Strood, I think, around that area, so on kind of to the west. And then I wanted to give a couple more shout outs. So I wanted to mention Amy Loves Toads. I know lots of people watch Amy, me included. I think I've been watching her for quite a long time now, but she does loads of WIPS that I really love. Her stitching's great, so if you haven't checked her out, do go and check her out, because a lot of her stitches are all animal related, and I just love them. They're brilliant. And then Creatively Yours. So I know I've talked about Jemima the Rocking Stitcher in the past, and I also like Debbie from Creatively Yours. She does lots of full coverage projects, and I really like her stitching, so go and check her out. And then another relatively new Flosstuber, but he's like streaking along with getting subscribers, is ChrisXStitch over in the States. I really like his channel. He's a real natural in front of the camera, and his videos are really quirky and really entertaining. So not only has he got his stitchy stuff, but he talks about lots of bits and pieces, like he has a toy thing going on, and yeah, just really good. So if you haven't checked him out, go check out ChrisXStitch. And then I already mentioned Desiree the Addicted Stitcher. Go and check her out. She's got great projects too. Okay, so my giveaway winner for the Strawberry Harvest chart was Stitching by the River, so well done. I will put a comment on your comment and congratulations. If you can give me your details, I will get that sent out to you. And like I said, my Heaven and Earth design wasn't one. Well, it was, but she hasn't claimed it, so I am gonna redo it again. So if you would like to win a Hare PDF, and it has to be their regular PDF, you know, any one of your choice, then please enter my giveaway for it. And this time I'm going to ask you to use the word earth. Okay, so use the word earth if you want to enter my giveaway to win a Hare PDF. Okay, and I will draw that on my next video, which will be in 2 or 3 weeks time. Now I'm working less, I might do them a little bit more frequently. What do you think? Or do you think every 3 weeks is enough from me? It's up to you. Let me know. And I just wanted to say as well, and I'm conscious I'm on an hour already, so I need to go in a minute, but you know, nobody ever asks me any questions, and I watch all these other floss tubers and they're like, oh, such and such asked a question and such, and I'm thinking, nobody ever asks me any questions. Is it because I forget to say, you know, if you've got any questions, please let me know. So if you've got any questions, please let me know. Okay. So yeah, so I'll be back in 2 or 3 weeks. I hope you all have a great couple of stitchy weeks. I'm hoping that between Teresa and I will have some more detail around our stitchy retreat for you shortly, and I look forward to chatting with you all again soon. Take care, guys, and bye for now.